they're not interested in what type of job it is. They just need cash in the bank to keep the business going.
Duayne, I know when we start working with builders, and a lot of the builders that we have conversations with, they've got in mind the kind of ideal project that they want to work on. It might be that they want to be doing high-end architectural homes, or it might be that they want to be doing projects of a particular type, like rural projects or, tiny homes or passive house or that kind of stuff. And they've got very strong ideas about their goals for their project types, and that's where their business vision is focused and what they're moving towards. I wanted to ask you though, what do you think is more important in running a successful building business, the project type that you build or the type of client that you work with?
Look, for me, it's a pretty easy one now. It's the client. In the old days, it was like I just wanted to do great homes. I had this, I had architects that I really sort of envied the homes they were drawing, and I wanted to do their work. And I learnt very quickly that in my business anyway, that was a recipe for disaster. And we've come full circle. And for me now, it's completely the client. The client has to be a client that we get on well together, that suits, we have similar personalities, and it's all about building a great relationship.
Why do you think builders often will just take any project that comes their way and not really think about who's the client, or is this, how's this going to work? Like, what do you see happening for builders in that process?
Well, look, I can speak from experience with this one, and I would say most builders are in this situation. Like you end up in a position where you are taking any and every project that comes across your desk, and that could be anything from a backyard deck, a pool pavilion, to a multi-million-dollar home. So you've got all these different jobs going all over the place. Your teams doesn't know what's happening. Like it's just a mess. And I think a lot of that comes down to is they need cash. Like they're not interested in what type of job it is. They just need cash in the bank to keep the business going.
Yeah, I remember when my business partners and I started our architectural practice way back when, and there were 6 of us together, and we sat at a meeting, and I actually said, we say yes to everything. And it was the worst piece of business decision making that we could have done, because what it meant was that we pretty much took anything that came our way, and we didn't get known for anything, and we didn't get to choose what we were working on. And it really comes from a scarcity mindset where you're panicked about where your next bill's going to get paid. And all of those jobs that you're saying yes to actually prevent you from saying yes to the things that you really want to do, because your plate's full with all of this rubbish that is actually just not furthering your business and you personally.
Yeah, it is. Like you just get stuck in that cycle where like your gut is telling you it's not my type of job. My team's going to struggle with it. The client's not going to gel with me. But you get in that cycle where you just need the bit of cash because you're behind on your bills or whatever. But like at the end of the day, what is the point of taking on a project and signing a contract with someone that you can't build a relationship with? Like, and if it doesn't, like these days, especially with materials and trade availability and those types of things, like even an average medium type home, like you're going to be dealing with these people for, even if it's only building, possibly 6, 8, 10, 12 months. And then like if you're involved with part of the design, like it could be years. So do you really want to be taking on every project that crosses your desk just to get money in the bank and know in your gut that you're literally going to have months and months of heartache?
Yeah, and I think it can be really scary because, we see builders grapple with this, of that first kind of call to say no to a project, knowing that they need the cash, knowing that it's important they perceive that it's important in order to keep moving their business forward. But when they make a decision that, no, that's not a good fit for our business, or no, I don't want to be working with that client for the next 6, 9, 12 months, it's amazing what happens in terms of the shift in them, in terms of the new standard that they set for themselves and the new position that they put their business at, to make a decision of who they're going to work with, and instead the kinds of relationships that they're going to create with the clients that they want to work with.
Yeah, and look, choosing a project based on the type of project and not the client is it's a recipe for disaster right from the beginning. And I think the hard part out there is for builders that are probably getting involved in tendering scenarios. Like, I know one of the big challenges for me back in the day was I went into jobs where the first time I met the client was signing the building contract. And like, I remember a couple of situations where I would actually call Camille up after the meeting, and like, my guts was already telling me from the vibe at the meeting, the way that the communication went and the questions they were asking, that they were like looking down on me, and I just didn't feel comfortable to begin with. And so that's why that's pretty much how I choose my jobs now. Like, I choose my jobs based on the type of client, the relationship we can build, the type of personality we have, and the relationship that we can build and have over a long period of time.
Do you see builders almost like getting sucked in by their ego of, you know, oh, wow, that actually could be an award-winning home, or that building could be a really good piece of marketing for me. So I am going to ignore all the red flags that I have about this client, and I'm going to make a call to take on that project because the long-term dividends of it will, you know, or it's going to look really good that I've done this project, and it feeds their ego. Like, I know I've seen builders run into problems, and then they, you know, they're down the track of dealing with a client and all of those red flags have come true, and they're now trying to navigate getting paid on a job, and it's terrible for them. So
you've just outlined what I did for years. Like, it was all ego. Like, we wanted to do the big flash homes. We wanted to win awards. And look, over the years we did. We've won dozens of awards, but looking back now, every award we won were in the years that we were struggling. We weren't making money. We were going backwards. I was dealing with anxiety, depression. My family, like, our relationships were falling apart. And like, what was it all for? It was just a disaster waiting to happen. And look, I get it. It is so easy to fall into that trap. Like, you want to be able to put the great pictures on your social media and win the awards so it boosts your reputation, all those sorts of things. But I've come to learn, one thing that I've really learned over the past couple of years, and definitely since we've had Live Life Build, is I don't need thousands of people following me. I don't need all the awards. Like, we're a small business. We do 6 to 12 jobs a year, depending on the size. I want quality jobs that I can build a relationship. I can become friends with my clients, and I know that my business is going to survive, and my team's going to enjoy them. My admin's going to enjoy them. They're going to be like, they're going to work in with our systems and processes. And I know there is a lot of builders out there that are taking on these award-winning jobs, and on face value it looks fantastic, but behind the scenes they're falling apart.
yeah, well, this is the thing. You're going to go into work every day. You want to, like, you can actually enjoy the process. You can enjoy the people that you're working with. And when you enjoy the process and you enjoy delivering homes for people you actually really like and enjoy spending time with, that transforms how you get to show up in your life and in your business overall.